From Bandit's unexpected transformations to disappearing feet, Bluey is full of quirky animation slip-ups that are hard to ignore. Today, we'll take a closer look into the strangest glitches in Bluey that you definitely didn't catch the first time. Obstacle course. In this episode, Chili sets up a fun backyard obstacle course, and Bandit's ready to race. As Bluey and Bingo are determined to win, there's something odd during the ladder climb. When Bluey first reaches the ladder, there's no shadow underneath her, but as she climbs, a shadow suddenly appears. Then, when she climbs down, her shadow stays behind, almost like it has a mind of its own. To make it even weirder, Bluey ends up with two shadows at the same time. What's going on here? Maybe the shadows just couldn't decide who to follow. Seesaw. In the episode Seesaw, Bluey and Bingo are having fun on the seesaw, each holding onto a handle as usual. But when Bandit joins in to teach them a lesson, Bluey slides down the seesaw and bumps into Bandit's back. The weird part is, there should be a handle right between Bluey and Bandit, but it's nowhere to be seen. It just disappears. And when Chloe shows up to help the girls, the handle magically reappears. It's almost like the handle decided to take a quick break. Spy game. When Bingo and Bandit are in the bathroom, waiting for Bingo to finish, something strange happens. Bandit is suddenly spotted outside cooking sausages on the barbecue. How did he get there so fast? Just as surprising, Bandit magically reappears inside, helping Bingo with hand washing. Did he teleport? Maybe he's unlocked a new superpower. Later in the episode, as the barbecue catches fire, Mackenzie's dad walks right through it like it's no big deal. The fire seems to have moved behind him, away from the grill, as if it's not even there. It almost looks like the animators had to act fast when the barbecue went up in flames. Tickle crabs. In this scene, Bandit brings home some mischievous tickle crabs from the beach and turns the house into a full-on tickle battleground. Bluey and Bingo are on a mission to catch him, but Bandit makes a quick escape into the kitchen and hopes to dodge the tickle attacks. As he tries to fend them off by throwing fruit, something odd happens. Just after Bandit's hand passes through the grapes, the second orange he throws simply vanishes into thin air. No sign of it. Could the fruit be trying to escape the chaos? Muffin cone. When Trixie and Muffin are on their way to Bluey's house, we get a glimpse of Trixie driving. While she's talking to Muffin, something strange happens. For a brief second, a dark spot on Trixie's face disappears as she speaks. It's so quick, it's hard to catch, but it's there. Was it just an animation quirk or something else at play? Double babysitter. In this episode, Bluey and Bingo reluctantly get to know Uncle Rad and Frisky, who fill in as babysitters. What starts as a hesitant relationship soon turns into a fun day, full of games and storytelling, as Bluey learns to trust them. But in one scene, as Uncle Rad and Frisky talk to the girls, a rainbow flag is spotted hanging behind them. However, after a few frames, the flag completely vanishes. It's as if the flag was actually some kind of magical cloak, vanishing when no one was looking. Granny's Bluey and Bingo dive into a game of pretend by becoming grannies named Janet and Rita. While they're playing, the grannies enter their car, and for a brief moment, their feet go right through the vehicle's floor. But when the car crashes later, the bottom of the car is completely solid, with no sign of those disappearing feet. It's almost like the car's bottom was swapped out in between scenes. Trampoline. In the episode Trampoline, Bluey and Bingo are having the time of their lives bouncing away with Bandit. As they jump and dive on the trampoline, something strange happens. When Bluey makes a big leap, a spot that's usually on her back appears on her belly for a split second. It's as though some falling down. As though the spot decided to take a little trip from one side to the other mid-air. Maybe the trampoline was giving it some extra bounce? Either way, it's a quick change that catches the eye. TV shop. In this scene, Bandit, Bluey, and Bingo are checking out the supplement store. And while Bandit is looking at all the supplements, Bluey and Bingo are busy playing with the CCTV cameras. But during one scene, something odd happens. As a terrier passes by a shelf with 5 jars of protein powder, 2 on top, 3 on the bottom, something disappears. Just 12 seconds later, we get another shot of the same shelf, but now only 2 jars are visible. So where did the other jars go? Did someone swipe them mid-scene, or is there something mysterious going on with the shelf? Favorite thing. At the start of this scene, we can clearly see 4 cherry tomatoes neatly placed there. But as Bingo tries to grab one with her fork, things get a little wild. One tomato falls off the table, and another one flies through the air, landing right on Bandit's head. So now, logically, only 2 tomatoes should be left, right? But when we get a shot of the plate from a different angle moments later, suddenly, there are still 4 tomatoes sitting there. It seems like the tomatoes have mastered a little multiplication magic. Bob Bilby. In Bob Bilby, there's a funny continuity slip that happens when Bingo climbs onto Bandit's back. Bluey, trying to capture the moment, takes a picture of Bandit and Bingo. However, something's off. When we look at Bandit's face on the phone screen, it shows him with his eyes slightly open, but in reality, his eyes are completely shut. It's a small detail, but it's definitely a mismatch between what we see on the phone and what's happening right in front of us. Bedroom. Just when Bluey and Bingo have spent the whole day switching between rooms, we see a small shelf beside her, topped with a lamp. As night falls and Bluey finally settles in for bed, and the camera angle switches a few moments later, suddenly there's another shelf next to the original one. Wait, wasn't there just one? It seems like the room has gained a little extra furniture in the blink of an eye. And later, when Bluey and Bingo are moving books, the same view reveals only one shelf again. But by the end, Chili is setting up that mysteriously appeared bookshelf. Looks like a mix-up in the episode's footage. Fruit bat. In this scene, things get a little tricky when Bluey and Bingo are getting ready for bed. As Bingo does some tactical moves, something seems a bit off. Through the washroom window, we clearly see daylight outside. Yet, it's supposed to be bedtime. How can it still be so bright and sunny? It looks like the time of day hasn't quite caught up with the girls' bedtime routine. Could it be that the day just doesn't want to end? Pirates. In this episode, Bluey and Bingo are having a blast pretending to sail the high seas on a hammock with Bandit as their pirate captain. But something strange happens as Bandit lets the hammock swing. For a brief moment, his 2 ears merge into one, making his face look more like a unicorn than a dog. Then, just when you think it can't get any stranger, Bandit's eyes merge into one, turning him into a mutant cyclops. And if that wasn't enough, his snout completely disappears for a split second, making him look completely unrecognizable. Cafe. During this episode, Bluey is having fun playing with her new friend, pretending to run a cafe. Meanwhile, Bandit and his friend sit separately on park benches nearby. But if we take a closer look, we spot the famous long dog right under Bandit's bench, behind one of the legs. It's a sneaky little Easter egg for fans to find. However, in the very next scene, when we get a new angle, Bandit is still on the same bench, and the back leg of the bench is now clearly visible. But here's the odd part. The long dog is nowhere to be seen, as if the long dog has magically disappeared. Maybe that Easter egg has a few tricks up its sleeve. Butterflies. When Bluey, Bingo, and Judo make up after a little tiff between Judo and Bingo, the 3 pups get back to the fun. However, things take an interesting turn when they decide they want to pretend to be humans instead of butterflies. And just as they're wondering who to hunt, they hear Bandit humming away while finishing up the laundry. Now, if you pause the moment when the pups pounce on poor Bandit, you'll notice something truly strange. Bandit's arm is twisted in a way that goes directly to his cheek, making him look completely unrecognizable. It's as if Bandit's been transformed into a human pretzel. And that's a wrap on some of the funniest and quirkiest mistakes hiding in Bluey. While these little glitches definitely give us a good laugh, they're just part of the charm of the show. After all, even Bandit and Bluey have their off moments. Did we miss any? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a moment of fun. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.